Porto in the Europa Cup, and is that what it's called? Europa Cup, Europa League? Something like that. Plus a cup final! And I don't remember what the cup's called either. I mean, this intro hasn't gone well. Hello and welcome to part 17 of my Football Manager 2018 beta save with Monaco. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we are playing the second leg of the second knockout round of the Europa League against Porto. Won 3-0 in the first leg, so fingers crossed that should be doable. We've then got a league game in between before we play Lyon in the League Cup final. Since you were last with me, things were going oh so well. We set a club record for consecutive wins in all competitions, and then went and drew 0-0 with Auxerre just as Paris Saint-Germain slipped up a little bit. They picked up their second defeat of the season. Or did they already have their second defeat? No, they had a draw against Lyon. There you go, that was the slip up. I think there was a bigger slip up than that. Either way, if we'd have beaten Auxerre, if we'd have beaten them, we'd have been 1 point behind them with a game in hand. As it is, we're 3 points behind them with a game in hand and a better goal difference, which is exactly the situation we were in before, but it just would have been nice to capitalise on them having a little bit of a slip, but we slipped right behind them. But anyway, we didn't slip up against Porto, and that's who we're playing right now. So, as I say, 3-0 up from the first leg. I don't know where the buttons are. By the way, we're on the full version of FM18 now. The last episode was still on the beta. Now we're on the full version. So, all of those little bugs and things we were having before, they're all long gone now. No more of that. My hair looks enormous today. I don't understand. So, we beat them 3-0 at home. Belotti is in cracking form, although apparently, again, not against Auxerre. And hopefully he's going to do a similar job for us today. And this is the team we're putting out there. No, it's not, because Ozil picked up a knock in training after I picked the team. So that's the team I'm putting out there today. So we've got Subasic in goal, a back four of Congolo, Glick, Manolas and Sidibe, with Fabinho in behind Tielemans and Arthur, and Lamar in behind Falcao and Belotti. We're going to swap them around, actually, because it never seems to work with Falcao as the advanced forward and Belotti as the complete forward. So we'll try them once again. Is this the team I thought I'd picked this team. I get so confused when I get ready to do a game, then save, then come back. So Dolberg's on the... Well, let's get rid of Dolberg then. Why have I got so many lone players? Facer's there. He could come on the bench, I guess. Facer, you're back. I've been punishing him for a long time. There you go, we'll do that. Magic. Silly, silly game. Right. Let's get into it. They're a good team. Yeah. Right. Let's beat Porto. That's the plan. If they knock us out now, I'm going to be rather sad. And I don't like to be sad. Oh, by the way, the reason Gaia, I mean, he wouldn't be in the team today because he's cup-tied, just like Dolberg is, but he's injured. He's going to be out for most of the rest of the season, which is a little bit of a shame because he'd been a bit of a difference maker in our good run that we've been on so far. And the first game in the league we had to play without him is the game where we slipped up and didn't pick up a win. He's been a bit of an attacking force down that left-hand side, similar to how Sidibe has been long-term for us on the right-hand side, as he's showing now with a really weak pass actually across the pitch, but you know, he tried his best. Falcao's in, and it goes flying over the bar. I'm just going to swap over Arthur and Tielemans. Can I do that on that screen? Of course I can't. I want Tielemans as the playmaker, and Arthur can do, but in fact, can we do that? Arthur's not so good as a register, so there you go, we'll do that, but I want Tielemans as my playmaker. We were experimenting a little bit in the last game, and the more I think about it, the more I'm starting to think I didn't actually pick a team for this game at all. This is actually the exact team that wasn't capable of beating Auxerre, so I'm now making tweaks and changes as I go through. I mean, the professionalism around these parts is second to none. And was that Lamar gave it away in midfield? Which is a little bit unfortunate. Subasic back out to Sidibe, and right, Falcao charging forward. Couple of things I've noticed since the full version of the game has been out. Firstly, it reset all my presets, so I've had to... I think I'm back to where we were before on cameras and stuff, but everything reset to director view and load. It was weird. I didn't like it. Another thing I've noticed, if we go into tactics, going fully into the tactics screen, and if we swap players over, the little suitability for the role disappears. That's new. That wasn't happening in the beta. So I don't know why that's happening now. And I'd quite like it to stop happening. But don't know if anyone else has noticed any little tweaks or changes that have happened since the full game has been out last night. Let me know down in the comments if you have noticed anything. And we've now conceded a goal. Tell me we're not going to... Oh, tell me it's not all going to go wrong. I mean, I'm going to be a little bit sad if it does. We were so in control of this tie, and I just wonder if we've got a bottle job in progress, a bottle job in progress, because we've just qualified for next year's Europa League through the league. We had the opportunity to go top, and we bottled it. We've now should just be cruising through against Porto, but we're 2-0 down after 9 minutes, and all of a sudden we've got a match on here, and now we'll probably go and lose the League Cup final in the second part of the episode as well. And I feel my stress level's rising. It's because I criticise the game. Oh, Kev, don't criticise the game, or the game's always listening. The game will punish you. I'm looking through my team selection. Don't think I've done anything stupid. I mean, you could make an argument that he could be back in the team at this point, but I don't really want to play him because I'm still angry with him for not being in the Champions League anymore. I mean, that's a long period of anger I've had against a player I signed for, was it close to £50 million? I don't think it was quite that much, but it wasn't far off. Right, Belotti's in. If he scores here, it's an important away goal, and he misses. Of course he does. I mean, that's what we need, just to settle ourselves down a little bit. An away goal, ideally before they score their third, because if we let them get back on level terms, particularly before half-time, I'm going to start to panic a little bit and probably do something quite stupid. But at least we do have the advantage of being away from home and knowing that any goals that we score are effectively worth double at this point. So if we can grab a goal, for every goal we score here on in, they've got to score 2. Is that how it works? Probably not quite how it works. But, you know, for the next 3 or 4 goals, that's roughly how it works. But we do need to make sure we go and grab the aforementioned goal. We're not even getting possession. We've not had a shot on target yet. What's happened? This is a team that's just set a record for wins in a row and is still undefeated in that little run. We've just had a 0-0 draw in that time. The only thing that's changed is the beta has ended and we've moved into the full version of Football Manager. Have they fixed it so that my tactic doesn't work anymore? Because the only games I've played on the full version were that 0-0 in the league and now this game. Everything else was played on the beta. I am now getting a little bit terrified that they've tweaked the match engine and my tactic all of a sudden doesn't work at all. And, oh, that's going to be horrible if that's what's happened, because we're too deep into the season to change it at this point, and the league particularly is so finely balanced. Even if we lose one game, that writes us out of the league. If we lose this game, we're out of the Europa League. Even if it takes 2 games to tweak the tactic, it'll end our season before we get a chance to tweak it. So I'm going to stop worrying. I don't think that's what's happened. I really hope that's not what's happened. Right, Tielemans to Falcao. Why are we missing? Every shot we get, we are missing. I don't understand what's going on. We've been so clinical and so good for so long, and now all of a sudden we're just rubbish. Right, Belotti not having a good game. Jovetic can come on. Falcao can go back into the advanced forward role. Glick not having a good game. Let's get Jemison on. And Arthur, get him off. Let's get Facer on. Let's get a proper midfield in place. Right, there you go. Triple substitution with 20 minutes to go. That's we've decided we're going to go and win the tie. Right, Tielemans, that's a really terrible pass to Sidibe, and now we are giving Porto the chance to run at us again, and they're just knocking the ball around for fun. We look absolutely all over the place. Fabinho comes back to cover, and now Tielemans, brilliant ball to Belotti, is offside, so perhaps not that brilliant. Although the ball was still good, we're going to blame Belotti for being offside, and it was his last contribution to the game as well. So he's not going to have the opportunity to be offside again today. Yeah, that'll learn him. Right, I mean, despite the early scare, we are now only 5 minutes from the end of the game, and we are still ahead on the tie overall. Jovetic is now in behind, squares it for Falcao, can't quite get there, but Sidibe is there to follow up, crosses to Falcao, and there is the away goal, and it couldn't be timed any better than that. Falcao has scored against his former club, and that should put us into the quarterfinals of the Europa League, unless something absolutely horrific happens in the last 5 minutes of this game. And absolutely done it the hard way. It's a double absolutely in 1 22nd period. That's the level of desperation we're at. But we should be all right. And backdoor Kev strikes again. Although, I mean, really, we've been ahead from like the 5th minute of the tie. So it's not really backdoor Kev. We just had to make it interesting. We deliberately let him have a couple of goals just to make the tie interesting. It's all for entertainment purposes. And their keeper is miles off the line if we can win the ball back here. But it seems that we're not going to. And that is that. So we do lose 2-1 on the night, which is our first loss in any competition for a long, long time. But we won the tie. And that is what's most important. When was the last time we lost a game before that one? I mean, it's all the way back here. That was in the French Cup. When was the last time we lost a game that was important? Tottenham in the Champions League. The match that wasn't, but then was. It's been a while. Right, I'm now going to go and play against Amiens offline. Hopefully still be in contention for the league when we go into the League Cup final against Lyon. Oh, if I look older now, I didn't realise there was an international break. Since I last spoke to you, it's been weeks in game. We did beat Amiens, which is very important. And we now find ourselves back in the same situation we've been in for months now. 3 points behind Paris Saint-Germain with a game in hand and a better goal difference and them still to play. So it's definitely all still to play for in the league. But today we move our focus onto the League Cup before starting to look a little bit further ahead at the Europa League, where we're going to be playing CSKA Moscow in the quarterfinal. And it's starting to look more winnable again. Obviously, we've still got the big teams. We're all at home. There you go. I imagine it's going to be a semi-final of Barcelona, Chelsea, Monaco and Bilbao. That's what I would expect to see. And then it starts to get a little bit more difficult. But that's all something we worry about in the next episode. Today, it's all about Lyon and picking up our first piece of silverware, not just of this save, but of FM18. So we're going to have Subasic in goal. Gaia is fit-ish again. I said he was out for the season. Well, there you go. He's back. He's not fully fit, but he's back in the next game you see because his injury wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought. So Gaia at left back moves Congolo back over to centre back again with Manolas and Toure making up the back four. Fabinho is our holding midfielder with Arthur and Matinho in front of him, and then Ozil in behind Dolberg and Belotti. Let's submit our team and hopefully go and win some silverware. That's what we all want. Do we recognise... Is that the Luan up front for Lyon? Have they got Origi and Luan up front now? Yeah, whatever. I didn't actually read what that said. I hope that wasn't me saying, oh yeah, we're going to get beaten, I'm so afraid. But usually, ticking the second one from the top, you can't go far wrong. That's been the Kev system ever since they introduced press conferences. Ozil trying to break through, he can't, but it falls to Dolberg, and Belotti's there. And with 40 seconds on the clock, Belotti gets what I think is his 20th goal of the season. We had a media notification come through a couple of days ago saying he was on the verge of breaking our goal-scoring record, and as if by stealth, he's put himself in a position as our top scorer, despite the fact Falcao is still the top scorer in Ligue 1. Belotti picking up his goals in the Champions League, in the Europa League, in the cup competitions, is now comfortably our top scorer overall, and surely at this point must be closing down on Falcao for top scorer in the league as well. But we're just happy that he keeps on scoring. What a difference it's made having him playing as the advanced forward with either Dolberg or Falcao alongside him. It doesn't really make a difference who's there. We've gone for Dolberg today because Dolberg can't play in the Europa League. So this is probably my combination in domestic games for as long as we're still in Europe, because then we're saving Falcao for Europe. And I mean, if Belotti gets tired, obviously we'll do Dolberg and Falcao in the league. It's nice to have options. Jovetic doesn't agree. He thinks it was nice when I had to play him occasionally. But, you know, perhaps if he'd have scored a few of those absolute sitters that he missed, I'd be more inclined to play him every now and again. And Belotti, talking of missing sitters, I mean, that felt like quite a big chance, and it's gone straight into their keeper's hands. And hopefully, we're not gonna throw all this away. Arthur tries for the through ball, and it's cleared. And Congolo misses his header, and there's a chance here for Lyon, and they absolutely squander it. Good, that's all good stuff. Right, now we're on the attack again. It's Gaia with the throw. Fabinho back to Gaia, who tucks it inside to Arthur. He's got a chance to shoot here, but instead plays it into Belotti, who I think got tackled, and it bounced back to Ozil. I don't think there was anything in the way of an assist there, but Ozil finishes rather comfortably. A few people have said in the comments over the last few days, shouldn't Lamar be starting ahead of Ozil? That's why Ozil should be starting. He was great for me in my Arsenal save. He's been great since we've had him here at Monaco as well. Lamar is a very good winger, I'm sure, but he's not as good an attacking midfielder as Ozil is. Right, Belotti's injured. We're not going to take any chances at all. If we've got any chance of winning the Europa League or winning the league, I mean, the Europa League more, we could probably win the league without Belotti if we just keep on winning, because I think Dolberg and Falcao is enough to win the league, but we're going to struggle to win the Europa League if we're forced to play Jovetic. But Dolberg is in, makes it 3-0, an assist by Falcao, and Dolberg's taken his time to settle in at Monaco. He's not scored a huge amount of goals for us, but then he's not played a massive number of games, and that would be a nice little confidence booster for him. We're in a nice big full stadium. I don't actually know where we're playing. Is this the big one in Paris, the name of which escapes me? We have got the information on there, but we need another highlight to be able to read it. I'm sure that's probably where we're playing. I assume that's where they play their domestic finals in France. But, you know, getting a goal here, it's all going to be good. The Stade Pierre-Marie Villeneuve, I don't know what any of that means. Is that in, I mean, I assume it's somewhere in France. That's as much as I've got from that. I went to one when just after the 1998 World Cup. We were on holiday in France when I was a kid, and we went and had a look at the big new stadium that was built for that. Is that what this is? Or is this a different stadium somewhere? I don't even remember what that was called now. Right, Arthur's in, and he flirts with the net there. Yeah, there's your symbol for flirting. Flirts with the net, and it goes wide. But, I mean, we've got this one comfortably taken care of now. Arthur's going to have another go. It falls to Falcao, who... That looked over the line to me. I don't really know how the goalkeepers kept that out. I've also just... Oh, there you go. I thought it was saying there was only 22,000 fans here. I was confused, but no. It's 45,000. 22,000 of them are away fans. So who's away? I guess Lyon is the away teams. We're listed first. So we've managed to muster together all those fans. I mean, that's quite impressive considering we've brought more fans to the League Cup final than we get for a league game, which is a bit surprising, but I guess we're more limited by the size of our ground than by a lack of fan base. Right, let's substitution apparently. Sidibe can come off, as can Arthur, and we'll get Facer in there, pushing Fabinho a little bit further forward. We have got a really good squad now, by the way. I mean, look, substitutions have been made, and we've still got 3 real top quality players on the bench. I think I am still tempted to do a third season in this save because I genuinely... Oh, by the way, because we've qualified for the Champions League, we've been given £120 million of transfer budget to spend next summer. Moutinho pioneering the clapping corner. It's not quite the Lukaku clap penalty, but I'm on board with a clapping corner. What was I saying? Yeah, £120 million to spend next summer. The temptation to do a third season is very, very, very strong. I'm recording this before I've released the episode where I asked you how you'd feel about that, but I am intrigued. A third season of this and delay the start of Non-League to Legend? I'm tempted. I've got a feeling Non-League to Legend start might be delayed anyway, because I don't know that we're going to have this series wrapped up by Sunday, even on two releases a day, and finishing at the end of season 2. I think it's still going to be a bit tight because we keep qualifying for extra rounds of the Europa League. That's just silly. You can see me with my little beard and glasses on there as well. That's brilliant. There you go. That's the first time we've experienced that pleasure on FM18, and what a pleasure it was. That was awesome. So we've got our first piece of silverware, and now we refocus. We stop smiling and we refocus because we've now got a league to win and a Europa League to win, and that's going to be the focus going into tomorrow's 2 episodes. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and thank you very much for watching.